We started Cakeology 8 years ago. The first couple years were out of my house and out of a restaurant that we used. There was just so much cake everywhere that we needed our own space, and thus we found our space down here in the Exchange.
I know we both have a huge love for the downtown area, and in particular the Exchange District, so it's really nice to see so many people down here. So that's, I think, what gives us a lot of joy being down here in particular, is that it's just always so busy during the summertime.
Every single cake that we make basically starts the same way. So we're gonna start with 2 8-inch round cakes, and that's what you're gonna yield if you buy a box mix, which is okay so long as you're baking at home, or if you're using a pretty standard recipe. Once your cakes bake, they're gonna do a nice big dome over top. So in order to stack the cakes, we're gonna cut that off and make them nice and even. And one of our secrets to making a really dense, rich, moist cake is adding a little bit of simple syrup to the cakes. Michelle's doing that right now. She's got 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water, and you mix it together, and it makes a nice little syrup. You can keep that in your fridge for a while and use it in drinks and in cocktails or for more baking. So basically just spread the simple syrup on the cake. If your cake is already really dense and moist, you don't need to do this. But we like to decorate our cakes a lot, so in order to preserve them for a longer period of time, this makes them nice and rich. Next up, we need icing. So Michelle's got in the bowl some basic buttercream icing.
That I didn't mix beforehand. When we make our buttercream, we like to add a little bit of water to it. It just smooths it out nicely so that when it's mixing, it's easier for us to spread on the cakes. So I'm just gonna mix it really fast, so it's gonna be really loud. Go.
So we'll stick the cake down to the board with a little bit of icing. And then we'll want to put the smooth bottom part right onto the board. Use about 2 cups of icing to ice in between the cakes. This doesn't need to be perfect. It can just be schmucked around. Just make sure that it's even and level. And then we'll take this guy and put it upside down so that either side of the cake is nice and smooth. And then to finish it off, just ice the sides.
So when we're baking our cakes, instead of using parchment for lining the pans, we use shortening to run around the whole pan. And then you put a little bit of flour in there and coat the whole pan. That way, after you've done baking the cake, you can take your spatula and you can run it around the cake, and the cake easily comes out of the pan for you.
So that's it. That's a base coat of icing. They often use the term dirty icing or undercoating or masking. The cake can be stored like this for a little while. You can wrap it, you can get your other decorations ready for it, or from here you can immediately go and start icing it to your finished product.